On February 19, 2013, hotel maintenance workers made a gruesome discovery on the roof of the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles. Inside one of the massive water tanks, floating face, was the body of a 21-year-old student named Elisa Lam. For weeks, guests had complained that the water from their taps tasted strange, smelled foul, and came out black. But no one could have imagined why. This is the story of Elisa Lam, the mysterious disappearance, the haunting elevator footage, and the unanswered questions that still chill the internet to this day. Elisa Lam was a 21-year-old student from Vancouver, Canada. Smart, quirky, and creative, she often blogged about her struggles with anxiety and bipolar disorder. In January 2013, Elisa decided to take a solo trip along the West Coast: San Diego, Los Angeles, Santa Cruz, a break from college and a way to find herself. She called it her West Coast adventure. When she arrived in Los Angeles, she checked into one of the city's oldest and cheapest hotels, the Cecil Hotel. But the Cecil had a dark history. Opened in 1927, it had once been a glamorous destination. Over time, it fell into decay, surrounded by Skid Row, plagued by violence, drug use, and death. Serial killer Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, even stayed there in the 1980s. Locals called it cursed. Elisa had no idea. On January 31, 2013, Elisa was supposed to check out of the hotel. She never did. When her family back in Canada didn't hear from her, they called the LAPD. The police searched the hotel every room they could legally enter, but there was no trace of Elisa. Days passed, then weeks. Flyers went up around Los Angeles with her smiling photo. Online forums began speculating, and then the LAPD released one single piece of evidence that changed everything: the elevator video. The video, recorded on January 31, 2013, the day Elisa disappeared, showed her stepping into the elevator wearing a red hoodie and black shorts. At first, it looked normal. She pressed several buttons and waited. But the elevator doors didn't close. Then, she began behaving strangely. She peeked out of the elevator as if looking for someone. She jumped back inside, pressed more buttons, all of them this time, then stepped out again. Her movements became erratic. She waved her hands, gestured as if talking to someone unseen. She even hid in the corner of the elevator, as though afraid. And then, she walked out, disappearing down the hallway. The doors finally closed. That was the last time Elisa Lam was ever seen alive. When the LAPD uploaded the footage online, it went viral. Within hours, millions were watching, analyzing, and theorizing what had happened. Some claimed it was proof of psychosis. Others swore there was something or someone in the hallway that the camera couldn't see. For 19 days, Elisa remained missing. During that time, hotel guests began complaining about the water. "It's discolored," one said. "It smells awful." Another claimed it came out black before turning clear. On February 19th, a maintenance worker went to check the rooftop water tanks. He climbed the ladder, removed the heavy lid, and saw her. Elisa Lam's naked body was floating face up in the tank. Clothes were found at the bottom. The tanks were sealed, and the roof was alarmed. Only employees had access to that area. So, how did she get there? The coroner's report ruled her death an accidental drowning. No drugs, no alcohol, just traces of her prescribed medication. But investigators could never explain how she accessed the roof. The door was locked and alarmed. The tanks themselves were over 8 feet tall, with heavy metal lids that would have been nearly impossible to close from the inside. As the internet tried to make sense of the case, theories exploded. The most logical explanation: a mental health episode. Elisa had documented her struggles online, writing openly about bipolar disorder and how medications sometimes made her feel detached from reality. It's possible she suffered a psychotic break, wandered onto the roof, and tragically fell into the tank. But that explanation didn't satisfy everyone. Others believed something more sinister happened. How did she bypass locked doors and security alarms without anyone noticing? Why didn't the elevator move while she was inside? Why did her behavior seem like she was reacting to someone else, someone off camera? Some online sleuths pointed to the hotel's history, murders, suicides, strange deaths, calling it cursed. Others went further, linking the case to a 2005 film called Dark Water, where a girl's body is found in a rooftop tank. The similarities were eerie, but even after a full police investigation, no evidence of foul play was ever found. In the end, Elisa Lam's death was ruled an accident. But to this day, many people refuse to believe that's the full story. Her parents sued the hotel for negligence, but the case was dismissed. The court ruled the hotel couldn't have reasonably predicted such an event. The Cecil Hotel itself became infamous. It closed temporarily, then reopened under a new name, Stay on Main. But no matter what name it uses, its reputation remains dark. The elevator video remains one of the most chilling pieces of footage ever uploaded to the internet. Every detail, every button press, every glance has been examined frame by frame. Yet somehow it offers more questions than answers. Who or what was Elisa Lam running from? Or was she only running from herself? This is Hidden Mysteries, bringing you real stories that blur the line between reality and the unknown. If this mystery kept you watching, subscribe for more true crime stories that still haunt investigators today. Because sometimes the scariest mysteries aren't fiction, they're real.